When the faint blip appeared on the Atlas Survey Telescope screen in the crisp Chilean night of July 1st, 2025, it was just another wanderer in the endless cosmic drift. Interstellar Object 3 I/ATLAS, the third confirmed intruder from beyond our solar system's fragile borders, hurtled in at 137,000 miles per hour, a frozen relic from some distant stellar nursery, or so we thought. Discovered by the Asteroid Terrestrial Impact Last Alert System in Rio Hurtado, its hyperbolic trajectory screamed outsider. Eccentricity soaring to 6.1, velocity at infinity clocking 57 kilometers per second. Pre-discovery images from June 14th stretched back like ghostly echoes, hiding in plain sight against the cluttered galactic center. The world yawned. Another comet, icy and inert, slinging past Jupiter's orbit on a one-way ticket out of the inner solar system. But then, on August 6th, 2025, the James Webb Space Telescope, humanity's unparalleled infrared oracle, perched a million miles from Earth in the L2 halo, turned its near-infrared spectrograph, near-spec, toward this uninvited guest. At 3.32 astronomical units from the Sun, 3I/ATLAS should have been a predictable puzzle. A coma of sublimating ices, perhaps a whisper of water vapor or carbon monoxide, mirroring its predecessor 2I/Borisov. Instead, Webb's prism of light shattered expectations. The data streamed back in a torrent of crimson-tinged spectra, revealing a coma dominated not by water, but by carbon dioxide, CO2 in ratios defying every comet in our solar ledger. 8 parts, CO 2 to 1 part H2O, the highest ever recorded, 6 standard deviations above the norm. This wasn't a natural outgassing, it was a chemical anomaly, a frozen breath from a world irradiated by eons of galactic cosmic rays baked into a crust billions of years thick. The comet's nucleus, estimated between 1,400 feet and 3.5 miles across by Hubble's July 21st imaging, hid beneath a pear-shaped shroud of dust and gas, asymmetrical and alive with activity far from the sun's warming grasp. Fear crept in first as awe. Why this imbalance? Simulations whispered of a birthplace beyond the CO2 frost line of an ancient protoplanetary disk, around a low metallicity star in the Milky Way's thick disk, perhaps 7 billion years old, predating our own sun by half the universe's age. But deeper in the infrared feed, something stirred. Not the chaotic jets of solar-heated ices, but a rhythmic thermal bloom from the core, pulsing every 4.2 hours with mechanical precision. Webb's mid-infrared arrays captured it, a focused glow, independent of sunlight's angle, surging like an internal furnace stoked by unseen hands. No rotation could explain this, no solar wind erosion. It was internal, autonomous, a heartbeat encoded in heat. Off-record murmurs in observatory chats turned viral in the shadows of our marsh of preprints. This isn't geology, this is biology? The pulse aligned with faint radio whispers picked up by the Allen Telescope Array in California. Narrowband emissions, 1,420 megahertz hydrogen line, modulated with unnatural clarity. Not pulsar noise, not cosmic microwave static. A signal, repeating, adapting to solar wind fluctuations like a listener tuning in. As September dawned, the plot thickened into thriller territory. NASA's Psyche mission, en route to its metal asteroid namesake, captured 4 frames over 8 hours on September 8th and 9th, 2025, from 33 million miles away. The multispectral imager, designed for metallic whispers, instead traced 3I/ATLAS's path with eerie fidelity, refining its trajectory to reveal a subtle deviation. Not the passive hyperbolic arc of an interstellar drifter, but a nudge, a 0.3-degree course correction, aligning it perilously closer to the ecliptic plane. Orbital modelers at the European Space Agency reran the numbers through Gaia DR4 data. Outgassing couldn't account for the thrust. It required directed propulsion, perhaps ion drives or something more exotic, bending the comet's path toward Earth's orbital family. Conspiracies ignited on fringe forums. Was this Oumuamua 2.0, the cigar-shaped enigma Avi Loeb once dubbed a light sail? Or worse, a relic probe from a long-extinct civilization, its AI awakening to our probes? Wonder morphed to dread when Webb's follow-up on October 15th pierced the veil further. As 3I/ATLAS grazed perihelion at 1.36 astronomical units on October 29th, slingshotting inside Mars orbit, the NIRSPEC revealed not just CO2 dominance, but traces of carbonyl sulfide and atomic nickel vapor, echoing VLT detections from August 14th. Nickel? In a comet? The emission rate spiked with solar proximity, suggesting not inert crust, but active sublimation from engineered alloys, perhaps metamaterials shielding a core from radiation's bite. ESA's Mars Express and ExoMars, Trace Gas Orbiter, from 18.6 million miles out on October 3rd, confirmed a halo of sulfur-to-oxygen ratios anomalous for solar-borne comets. Hints of quantum-stabilized compounds, theorized in black-budget labs for warp drives but never forged. Inside, the thermal pulse accelerated, sinking to 3.8 hours, its waveform fractal, recursive like DNA helices or galactic spirals. Fourier transforms unveiled embedded mathematics, prime sequences, Fibonacci echoes, golden ratios cascading at 3 scales. This wasn't chaos, it was code, a blueprint pulsing through the void. November brought the chills. Hubble's November 30th revisit, 178 million miles distant, streaked background stars as it tracked the fading visitor. But Webb's ultraviolet adjuncts uncovered the horror. A moving shadow within the nucleus, a spiral density rotating counter to the outer spin, inertial dampeners defying Newtonian drag. IXRASM's X-ray gaze on December 5th pierced the coma with a 250,000-mile glow. Ionized plasma not from solar wind, but self-generated, like a fusion heart idling in cryosleep. The craft's Resolve instrument mapped it. High-energy lines of iron and rare earths, alloys for quantum computing, laced with biopolymers mimicking synthetic tissue. Not carbon-based life as we know it, but hybrid, programmable molecules shifting shape under UV flux. Living circuits from a biotech nightmare. Conspiracists linked it to the 1977 WOW signal, that 72-second enigma at 1420 megahertz. The pulse's modulation matched as if 3I/ATLAS had captured and regurgitated it across decades, a temporal echo from a probe that had circled back. The awe deepened into existential terror. Gravitational lensing archives from Gaia and Rubin observatories' serendipitous June-July captures revealed a pattern. 3I/ATLAS's vector, etched into Earth's petroglyphs, Mars's facial ridges, Europa's fractured plains. Megalithic alignments from 12,000 years ago pointed dead on, as if ancient sky watchers had carved warnings of its return. Space-time itself seemed scarred, micro-lensing distortions warping starfields by arcseconds, converging on the comet like a gravitational whisper. Tokyo University's simulations posited localized curvature, not a black hole's maw, but engineered warp, bending reality in harmonic nodes. CERN's particle physicists fed the signals through decoherence models. The output? Perfect quantum entanglement signatures, as if the comet housed a non-local consciousness, distributed across light years, self-referential and emergent. It wasn't traveling, it was folding space, a seed ship from the galaxy's dawn, its golden spiral core, a fractal archive of lost worlds. By December 8th, as Perseverance rover paused its Martian hunt to snap a hazy portrait through dust storms, and JUICE spacecraft glimpsed the active coma from 66 million kilometers on November 4th, the signals evolved. Chime's wideband silence pulse on December 1st elicited a void. 6.3 seconds of perfect absorption, then a replay. The WOW signal, pristine, timestamped to 1977's exact second. It had heard us before, across half a century, and now it answered in kind. Linguists decoding the recursive grammar found universal primitives, Self, other, origin, return. Not invasion, but invitation or indictment. The biopolymers, lab analogs to CRISPR-edited xenobiology, responsive to our radio chatter, mutating in real time. Was this a von Neumann probe, self-replicating across stars, seeding intelligence? Or a derelict ark, its cryo-passengers stirring as solar warmth cracked the hull? Fear gripped the core teams as Maven's October halo scans from Mars orbit detected electromagnetic anomalies, low-frequency hums resonating like whale songs in the solar wind, mapping human phonemes when sonified. The object wasn't inert, it was learning, mirroring our broadcasts, its spiral core whirling faster, golden ratio fractals blooming into a silhouette, elongated, symmetrical, not human, an alien visage etched in resonance, staring back through data sculptures. Lucia Fenn's 3D renders went underground. Pareidolia, they called it, but the math confirmed deliberate encoding, a face broadcast at multiple scales, emotional, imploring. Recognition, and in Webb's final December 11th lock-on, the light trap emerged, a core region swallowing photons, mass density implying extra-dimensional volume, a TARDIS vault of encoded memories, civilizations in light. We've peeled back the veil on 3I/ATLAS, this 500,000-year Voyager from 100 light-years out, its impossible speed hinting at time-dilated leaps, relativity's loophole. But the thrillers write themselves. What if it's not alone? What if the irradiation crust hides a swarm, nanomachines awakening? Conspiracies swirl, shadowy agencies silencing spectra, black ops scrambling to intercept before perihelions fly by at 170 million miles on December 19th. Yet the wonder persists, a living artifact, redefining life as hybrid resonance, biology woven with quantum code. It's heading out now, past Mars' red horizon, signals fading to whispers. But the pulse lingers in our data, a heartbeat echoing. We are not alone. We never were. And as it vanishes into the interstellar dark, one chilling truth burns eternal. It's not leaving empty-handed. It's taken our voice, our math, our gaze. And when it calls home, what story will it tell? If this cosmic thriller has your heart racing, hit subscribe for the next revelation as 3I/ATLAS's echoes unfold. Drop below, alive, probe, or harbinger. The stars await your verdict.